Randall to the dot. Touchdown, and we're underway. Gets it over to Elsie. She'll dump it into the zone. Troush steals it behind the net. Wheels out in front. Gets it off the poles. Can't quite connect. Slides by Elsie all the way back out to center ice. Carter Molenkamp's got it there. Tries to spin it back to the middle. Knocked away. Battle for in front of the Ames bench. Randall will backhand it into the zone. Troush down to get it. Steals it in the corner. Sends it out front. Tipped away by Ames. Elsie just holds it in. Ames now the other way through the neutral zone. Dumped into the zone. It'll go back behind the net of Freihopper. Now Randall sends it up through center ice. Can't connect with Troush, and we'll get an icing call. Out to the ice comes Blake Schrader. Takes the face-off. Dubuque wins. Sends it back behind the net. Ethan Teese picks it up on the near boards. Knocked out to neutral ice. Laid up ahead by Ames. Taken away at the blue line. Dubuque will cycle it back to the defensive zone. We'll give and go action on the far side. Knocked back out to center ice. Blake Schrader forces it just inside the zone. Ames forces it back out. Ethan Teese now at the puck at the red line. Gives it back to his D. Cooper Smith sends it up through the neutral zone. Knocked into the zone by Dubuque. Folker's back there. Sends it out the far side. Knocked into the zone by Ames. Knocked off the puck by McDermott. Now Cooper Smith. Wheels it up the middle. Cuts through two. Full head of steam into the attacking zone. It's taken away by Ames. Drills Matt Larson in the leg. Played back to Owen Troush. Bouncing puck gets away from him. He'll chase it back to the end wall. Circles around behind the net. Pivots and goes back where he came from. Bouncing on the end boards now. Now it's Troush. Flailed out to the far side. Orr's got it there. Carries it across the red line. Dumps it into the zone. Off the end wall. Pittman knocked the net off. Larson sees it. He's going to try and adjust, hopefully. That's not off a lot, but it's off. Meehan at the point. Dumps it down to Waddick. Orr battles for it on the far boards. Ames sends it out of the zone. Apparently, I'm the only person in the building that knows the net's off. Ames on the far side. Sends it up into the neutral zone. Brady Hubanks picks it up there. Goes D to D over to Troush. Sends it back over to Powell. Powell now straight through the zone for an icing. Yeah, I am the only person in the building that sees the net. Just up very slightly up. Pittman didn't fix it. Oh well, the goal get called off. It wasn't my fault. Wyatt Powell to the dot. Ames wins. Gets a shot on Freihopper. We'll do it all again. That's the first shot of the game. Puts down. Molenkamp plays it up the boards to Powell. Ames takes it back, dumps it back behind the net. Molenkamp chips it over to Elsie. Elsie tries to fire it out the boards, knocked back in. All the way around to the far corner where Molenkamp can't quite get a handle on it. Shot fired on net, kicked to the side by Freihopper. Played back out to the Ames blue line where it's dumped it back in. A lot of possession early on in today's game. Played back, Molenkamp has it in the defensive zone. He'll go D to D over to Elsie. Sends it up through to Wyatt. And back into the Dubuque zone. Up the boards. Knocked back in. This is a game of ping pong. It'd be very entertaining. Played up now. Sauser will try and dump it in. It's aims at the red line. No, it didn't apparently. Pittman shuffleboards at the length of the ice. We'll get Tyler Randall in for the faceoff. Pucks down. Ames controls in the corner. Backhands it to the middle. Wart wide open in front, but couldn't hit the net. Now it's Troush. Works it up the boards. Randall races him down to the corner. Wrapped around to the near side. Poles knocks it loose. Ames will circle back behind their own net. Fired up the far side. Tyler Randall can't quite hold it in. Gets stuck in the ref skates. Now Ames through the neutral zone. No call on that hit. McDermott plays it up the boards. Gets it up to Troush. Tyler Randall comes in, scoops it up, heads towards the net, loose puck. Power play! Goal by Michael Poles. Randall was tripped. There was a delayed call. Puck got left in the slot, and Poles bears it by Pittman. One shot, one goal. It's the kind of shooting accuracy we like. So 10 minutes left in the first period. The Saints are on the board first, 1-0. On the back of Michael Poles. If they entered that penalty in, they should have. Still counts. Tees now with the puck. Drives it to the corner. Throws it out in front. Loose in the slot. Ames fires out the far side. Played into the Duke defensive zone. Oh, and Troush will work it down the ice. Fired back. Ethan Tees gets it over to Carter Meehan. Meehan fans on his first clearing attempt. Now he gets it over to Troush. Troush takes it back behind his own net. Wheels and goes back behind the net. Long across ice pass. Gets it ahead to Blake Schrader in the zone. Shot saved by Pittman. (9:11) left in the first period. They did enter the penalty. Those guys over in the score box know what they're doing. Ames has the puck. They'll break it out through center ice. Driven wide. Molenkamp knocks him off the puck behind the net. Recovers. Now it's Elsey takes the puck away. Molenkamp behind the net. Breaks it out. Ames holds it in at the blue line. Bouncing puck gets away from Waddick. Elsey on the far side. Tries to take a big hit.
9:57 in the first. We also have a tribute by number 12 at 9:57 in the first.
Played up into the neutral zone. Our in-rink announcer has the giggles. Played around the boards to Waddick. He sends it out through center ice. Dump back into the zone by Ames. Molenkamp back to get it in the corner. Cycles over to Cooper Smith. Chipped out of the zone. Held in by Ames at the blue line. Now centering pass gets away from Dubuque. Wart fires it on net. Dubuque carries it out to center. Waddick battles for it there. Ames takes it away. Pinned up against the boards. Cooper Smith now back behind the net. Ames will battle for it there. Tries to get it out in front. Just wide. Back to Ian Baumgart. The shot's blocked by Eubanks. Right back behind the net. Ames takes it away there. Bounce the puck out to the front. Fires just wide. Off the board by Cooper Smith. Salzer throws a check. Wrapped around to the far side. Eubanks applies it off the boards. Or dumps it back behind the net. Cooper Smith battles for it there. Wrapped around now to the near side. And it'll squirt all the way out to center ice. Back to the defensive zone for Dubuque. Ames on a quick change. We've got the Ames varsity team right in front of me. This should be interesting. Loose puck. Big save by Freihopper. Kicked out though. And recovered, and it's a goal. Freihopper made a big save and got stuck on his far post. And he put it around the back of the net. Fed it back out in front. And it's a 1-1 game with 6:39 left in the first period. Tyler Randall to the faceoff dot, wins it back to Meehan, gets it over to Troush. Troush sends it over to his brother on the far side. Gets it up through center ice. Randall carries it into the zone. Shot deflected high into the corner. Michael Poles tries to dance away from one. Ames pokes it loose, taken away by Troush. Now played up. Meehan's got it at the red line.
At 6:39,
sends it back into the zone.
Goal scored by Carson Davis, number 15, assisted by
Big
number
hit there by
7,
Elliot
number
Troush in the
4.
corner. Puck behind the net. No one knows where it is. Behind the net. Bouncing out to the side. Ames sends it out the far side. Off a skate. Elliot Troush sends it back down to Tyler Randall in the corner. Randall loses an edge. And now it's Ames playing it to the near boards. Chipped up into the zone. Troush sends across ice to his brother again. Randall into the zone now. Drives it wide all the way down to the goal line. Shot fired across the front. Ames picks it up and they'll try and work it out of the zone. It's held in by Elliot Troush. Played around the far side in front of the Zam doors. Ames bangs it out to center ice. Now chipped into the zone. McDermott back to get it. Plays up. Taken away by Ames. Ward in the slot. Shot. Wide of the net. Played on the side of the boards. Freihopper struggles to get back to his feet again. Maybe tighten those pads up an extra click today. Fired into the net. Smith plays it off to the side. Ames works it out to the corner. Played off the near boards. Raced into the zone by Dubuque. Loses another edge. It's a common theme today. And Ames back up to neutral ice. Sent into the zone. Along the end wall. They'll pick it up there. McDermott takes it away. Off to Blake Schrader. Hard up the boards. Gets it ahead to Tees. Offsides is the call. By good stride. .4:30 left in the first period. We've got a tie game. Palmer to the dot for Dubuque. Pucks down. Ames controls. Try and force it into the zone. Now out the other side. Waddick knocks it towards the net. Pittman lets it go. Battle back on the end wall. Ames will send it to the far corner. Or over to play it there. Played back to Elsie at the point. She feeds it down low to Palmer. Palmer works it to the corner, down the goal line. Tries a centering pass. Back behind the net it comes to the near side. Palmer has it knocked off his stick. Out to center ice. Ames comes. Centering pass over to Bort. It's the break. She goes towards the slot. Fired just wide of the net. Elsie will pick it up on the far side. Tries to advance it down the boards. Ames takes it away. Now it's Orr. Yes, Orr has it. Dumps it in. Back behind the net of Pittman. That's nice. 3:30 left in the first period. We get Wyatt Powell to the dot. Pucks it down. Ames control, sends it back behind the net. Baumgart back there, taken away by Troush. Now he'll get it ahead to Powell. Troush has it there, fires it back ahead to Powell. Powell gets ahead to Eubanks. Ames controls, fires it into Eubanks. Now they've got it, played back out to center ice. It's Ethan Salzer, plays it over to Carter Meehan. Meehan back ahead to Eubanks, sent into the zone. Eubanks has it in the corner. Tries to spin it towards the net. It's knocked away from him. Eubanks now back into the zone. Shot fired, saved by Pittman. Bladed up into the glass. Bouncing puck, still out in front. Net must be off. I think the net's been off for a good 15 minutes. Some scores from around the league. It's the Lincoln Stars just piling it on Mason City, 5-1 in the JV contest. Still scoreless between Sioux City and Fremont. The Capitals taking it to the Quad City Blues, 4-0. And it's 1-1 here in Dubuque. Ames wins the faceoff. Held in by Troush. Going to play it back for it now into the attacking zone. His shot blocked in front by McDermott. Tyler Randall, full head of steam. He's got an angle on the net. Rolls off his stick. Now played around, back behind the net. Seeing Baumgart up through center ice. Ridden into the boards hard by Elliott Troush. LC battles forward in the corner. Plays it ahead to Troush. Troush tries to pitchfork it out. It's taken away by Ames. They'll send it to the far side. Knocked down the boards. Cooper Smith plays it back behind the net to Elsie. Elsie's got a little time to work with over that corner. She'll send it up. Taken away by Ames. Warwick carries it in. Top of the circle. Shot saved by Freihoffer. Loose puck. Kicked out to Randall. Randall gets ahead to Michael Poles. He'll chip it into the zone. 1-on-1. Check from behind coming late on board as Pittman makes the save. Cross-checking is what they'll call it. So the Saints will go on their first actual power play. They scored on the delayed call early in the first period. We'll get Powell, Molenkamp, Cooper Smith, and Elliott Troush out. Pucks down. Molenkamp has it. He'll play it down the boards. Back to Molenkamp at the blue line. Walks it down. Realizes he's on the power play and pauses for a second. Played to the far side. Fired in. Saved by Pittman. Loose puck back behind the net. Troush has it there. Tries to bring it out in front. Squirts over to Cooper Smith. Top of the circle. So he'll play it over to Molenkamp. Molenkamp shot high and wide. Goes to the corner. Powell sends it through the middle. Top of the circle shot. Hits the side of the net. Powell has it in the corner now. Plays it back to Cooper Smith. Smith at the blue line walks it down to the tops of the circles. Plays it to the far side. Walks it in. Shot fired straight through the crease. Oh, it was a bad angle shot. Sent the length of the ice, and Freihoffer will stop it behind his own net. 21 seconds left in the period. Molenkamp will wind it up. Long cross ice pass. Collected on the far side by Dubuque. They'll take it into the zone. Taken away by Ames. Fired back. Held in by Blake Schrader. His shot on net. Saved by Pittman. Loose in the slot. Goal! With 0.8 seconds left. Looks like it's Michael pulls again. Michael pulls again. So just before the end of the first period, the Saints extend their lead to 2-1. Shots on goal favor the Saints 6-5. They come out for the ceremonial 0.8-second puck drop. We're going to need to get one of those players off the ice. This is the goofiest configuration I've ever seen, and that'll do it on the first period. Puck's down and we're underway in the second period. Played back into the Dubuque defensive zone. Sent back up to neutral ice. Ames will battle for it back into the zone. Centering pass taken away by Poles. We'll send it ahead to Troush. Played back to Owen Troush now. Ahead to Poles again. Carried in the zone and dumped behind the net of Freihofer. Played around now to the near side, down to the corner. Meehan has it there. Back behind the net. Ames takes it away. Shot. Saved by Freihofer. Holds on for a whistle. We'll get Ellis Sukuchov, Carter Molenkamp, Ethan Tees, and Blake Schrader out. Tees to the dot. Puck's down, controlled by Dubuque. Quickly turned over. Now Tees has it, tries to fire it out. Kneed down by Ames. Rugby Strum on the far boards. Aussie. Now Dubuque walks away with it. Back to the corner. Molenkamp sends it behind the net. Up the near boards. Taken away by Ames. Back into the zone. Fired down low. Covered by Freihofer. We'll get the whistle. So in the back of two Poles goals, Dubuque up 2-1. 13:49 left in the second period. Ames won the faceoff, back to the point. Shot. Saved by Freihofer. Very down low. Decent tees behind the net. Carter Molenkamp played up the boards. Now advanced out through neutral ice. Seeing Baumgartner has it for Ames. Spins it towards the middle. Ethan Tees races in, gets a shot. Saved by Pittman. Chip behind the net. They'll try and play it back out to the front. Tees has it in the corner. Back to the point. Elsie's got it there. Back down to Tees. To hold the goal line. They'll try the centering pass, taken away by Ames. Knocked back to the point. Molenkamp dumps it to the near boards. Tees sends it back behind the net. Played back to the near corner now. They'll wrap it around the boards. Molenkamp fires it back down low. Ames now around to the other side. Duke drives it down to the corner. Ames now fires it up the far boards. Out of the reach of Cian Baumgart. Elsie's got it. She'll retreat all the way back. Plays it up the near boards. Far boards. Moves from the slot. Fired back out to the blue line. Brady Eubanks into the attacking zone. His shot's blocked. Kicks out to the far side. Powell can't get quite enough of it, and Ames races it up the far boards. Cooper Smith drives Cian down to the ice. A little slow to get up. Cian's having a rough day of it. Played out to the middle, just out of the reach of Brady Eubanks. Played to the far side now, dumped into the zone. Dubuque will collect it behind their own net. That's Cooper Smith. Drops it off there for Wyatt Powell, taken away at the slot. So we don't carry it there. Now it's Ethan Sauser battling for it in front of the player's entrance. Played back to Cooper Smith. Smith will carry it out of the defensive zone, sends it up through the middle. Taken away by Ames, and they'll counter. Into the zone it comes. Cooper Smith behind the net, wraps around to the far side. Sauser sends it the length of the ice. Very nice. We'll get Palmer to the dot for the faceoff. Puck's down. Oh, and Troush will wrap it around the boards. Ames holds it in here at the near point. Sent back around the boards. Or send it to puck. Bounces over the stick of Palmer. Played back to Troush. Tried to knock him off the puck. Gonna have to try harder than that. Gets it over to Meehan. Meehan plays it ahead to Orr, who sends it through the middle. Waddick scoops it up, and he'll race it out the far side. Battled on right in front of the announcer's table. We're still pushing. Still pushing. Freihaffer leaves it back behind his net. Owen Troush plays it out to the far side. Jumps over the stick of Palmer, back to the point where Ames has it. Now it's Meehan in the corner, around the back of the net. Gets it over to McDermott. That's Orr, not McDermott. Close. Shot fired just wide of the net. Now into the slot. Shot saved by Freihaffer. Really struggling to recover this morning. A little extra wax on the pads, it looks like. Played ahead. Waddick will send it length to the ice. Stop this tomfoolery. We'll get a whistle for icing. .9:54 left in the first period. We'll get Tyler Randall to the face-off dot. He's out there with Michael Poles, Elliot Troush. Freihaffer struggling with his mask. Concerned Matt Larson will help him out. Ames team is led by CM Baumgard with 13 goals. Ryder Board also with 13 goals. CM plays for Team Midwest. It's a select team. Number of players from Ames and Dubuque on the team. Puck's down now. Into the corner it goes. Bouncing puck. Sent out to center ice. Taken away by Elliot Troush. He'll take it into the zone. He's got Randall in the middle. Centering pass. Randall was tied up. Now played back out. Ames through the middle with some speed. Elsie drives him wide. Shot goal. Boric ties the game up for Ames. Now 2-2. Had a good step. Got a good angle. Made a good shot. Tyler Randall back to the dot. He'll be flanked by Elliott and Michael. Puck's down, back over to Elsie. She'll get it over to Mullenkamp. Let it head to Poles. He'll chip it off the boards to Randall. Taken away by Ames. Ford dumps it into the zone. Played out the far side. Taken away by Poles. He'll send it out to neutral ice. Ames has it back. Dumps it into the zone. Elsie will pick it up off the end wall. Head to Troush. Sent back behind the goal line. Tyler Randall picks it up. Chips it up the far boards. Bouncing puck. Caroms out to center ice. They'll play it around Poles. Over to Elsie on the near boards. She sends it up. Knocked back by Ames, and they'll dump it into the zone.
By number 44, Weston Barrett, assisted by number 7, Tanya Baumgard. 44 from 7 at 9:39.
Elliot Troush all the way down to the near corner. Backhand that. Oh, had a good angle. Thrown out to the slot. Backhander. Saved by Pittman. 8:30 left in the second period. We're going to Ethan Tees to the dot. Controlled by Dubuque. Out in front, bouncing puck, still loose, goal! Dubuque jumps out to a 3-2 lead. Nice face-off play. Puck bounced out in front. It's tucked away. So Dubuque back on top with 8:25 left in the second period. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 14-11. Schrader into the faceoff dot. That's not Schrader because he's got the puck now. It was Ethan Tees for the faceoff. Fired around the net, out to the backside. McDermott holds it in there. It's knocked back out to center ice. Tees plays it back to Cooper Smith. Baxter takes it away. Ames will carry it into the zone. Fired on net. Freihofer blades it up into the netting. Tees to the dot. Ames wins it. Fans on the shot. Blake Schrader picks it up. Manages to get it out to center ice.
8:25 by Brock Smothers.
They'll go back to Cooper Smith in the D zone.
Tees and Blake Schrader. That's Smudsbuds, number 20, 36 Tees, 19 Schrader.
Played back to the corner. Cooper Smith has it there. He'll wrap it up the near boards. Send it out to center ice. Bouncing puck gets ahead to Black's great play. Schrader. He'll walk the goal line. Throws it out in front. Ames to the box. Again. So Dubuque back in the power play with Ethan Tees, Braden Palmer, Tyler Randall, Blake Schrader, and Michael Poles. Back to Schrader at the point. He gets it over to Poles. Poles from the faceoff dots, or I'm sorry, tops of the circle. Played out the far side. Palmer has it there. Ames takes it away briefly. Saints recover. Get it back. Played over to Randall. Randall battles for it in the corner. Sends it back behind the net. Poles now in the corner. A little time to set up. Plays it up to Palmer. Schrader gets it over to Randall. Just holds it in the zone. Sends it back below the goal line. Tees has it there. Sends it out to Randall. His shot. Saved by Pittman. 6:48 left in the second period. 1:22 left on the power play for Dubuque. Saints hold a 3-2 lead. Shots on goal are 16-12 in favor of the red and white. Randall wins the puck back to Schrader. He'll get it over to Poles. Back to Schrader. Kicks it down to Randall. Randall sends it over to Poles. Tops of the circle. Shot. Off Pittman's glove. Back behind the net. Now Randall. Tops of the circles. Over to Poles. Shot fired wide. Kicks around to Randall. Randall walks it to the goal line. Drops it off there. Played back to Blake Schrader at the blue line. Schrader walks the blue line. Drops it off of Randall. Randall top of the circle. Deflects off a defender. Poles has in the corner. He'll sweep it back behind the net. Back to Randall at the blue line. He'll go D to D over to Blake Schrader. Schrader walks it to the middle. Dishes off for Poles. Poles tries to hit him on the backside. Ames takes it. They'll counter out the other way. Bort dumps it into the zone. Back behind Freihofer's net. Ames spins at center ice. Still 12 seconds left in the power play. Dump back. Puck takes a weird bounce. Karam's back behind the goal line. Tyler Randall back to get it. Locked in front. Westmore, nice move and a goal. Short-handed. You stay in there for a second. Short-handed with 1 second left. Or it ties the game up. With his second of the game. So with 5:27 left in the second period, still an interesting game here in Dubuque. It's 3-3. Waddick, Orr, and Palmer out. Sukochoff and Mullenkamp back on D. Puck's down, controlled by Ames.
Ames goal at 5:27.
Sent into the zone. Icing. Face off to come to the right of Pittman. Palmer in for the face-off. Ames wins it, sends it back behind their net. They'll send it up the middle. Board again. Already 2 goals in the game. Drives it wide. Shot, saved by Freihofer. Knocked back behind the net by Elsie. She'll play it to the corner. Ames has it on the boards. Knocked down by Elsie. Waddick's pass is tipped up in the air. Knocked back in the zone by Ames. Gets around Mullenkamp. He'll retrieve it in the corner. Played up the far side. Chipped up to center ice. Ames will go D-to-D on their own blue line. Knocked down by Orr. Dumped into the zone. They'll go for a change. Ames will regroup behind their own net. Long stretch pass. Ames into the zone. Hits the brakes just inside the blue line. Now chipped ahead. Cooper Smith. Cross ice pass. Can't connect with Sauser. Ames in their own defensive zone. They'll bang it back out. Icing. Ames coach upset that Cooper Smith slowed down. He's right, he did, but you got to pick your battles, coach. You can't scream with the rest for every single call. Foul in for the faceoff. Eubanks has it. Turns it over on the boards. Now played out to center ice. Cooper Smith mishandles the puck back into the defensive zone. High off the glass. Glove down by Ames. Shot fired wide. Glove by Freihofer. Sent out in front. Dubuque tries to clear. Ames will fire it back in. Blocked by Cooper Smith. He'll play it out the boards. Ames continues to hold it in. Dump back below the goal line. McDermott back to get it. Now McDermott out the far side. Played up ahead. Powell can't quite hold on to it. Ames will send it back in. Into the slot. Cooper Smith takes it away. Hard off the glass. Ethan Sauser has it there. Sent on net. Bouncing puck. Eubanks will send it up the boards. Held in by Ames. Shot blocked by Cooper Smith. He's tied up. Played up to Powell out to neutral ice. Back in the defensive zone. Powell knocks it forward. All the way down to the corner. Sending pass. Taken away by Ames. And they'll break it out. Taken away by Poles on the near or far boards. Played back to Owen Troush. He'll dump it into the zone. Back behind the net of Pittman. Wrapped around the near boards. Tyler Randall steals it off the boards there. Carries it down to the goal line. Back behind the net. Pops out the other side. Gets it over to Meehan. Meehan from the tops of the circles. Plays it down low. Back to Meehan. Michael Poles works down the blue line. Shot towards the net. Ricochets in front, but that stays out. Now Randall back below the goal line. Troush races to get it. Takes a bad angle, and Ames has it. On the far board, Zill sends it out to center ice. Meehan takes it away there, gets it over to Owen. Owen to Elliott. Played ahead. Randall's got it with a little speed, takes it into the zone. Cuts towards the net. No, but that's in the net. Tyler Randall. It's been an interesting game so far. And with 2 minutes left in the second period, Tyler Randall puts the Saints up 4-3. We'll get Randall back up for the faceoff. He's got Elliott Troush and Michael Poles with him. Mullenkamp and Sukuchov back behind him. Troush gets it into the zone. He's on a breakaway. Goal! The Bears are coming in waves now as it's 5-3 in favor of the Saints. Yesterday's defensive struggle was finished in 2-0. Is erupted into all-out offense, and we'll get a goalie change with 1:51 left in the second period. Ethan Tees to the box, or face-up dot. Sukuchov plays it ahead. Sent to the zone by Blake Schrader. Back to LC at the center ice. Played ahead to Tees.
Back-to-back debut goals. Goal number 1 at 1:58, scored by Tyler Randall.
Played up. Ames will control it at the blue line.
Goal number 2 at 1:51, scored unassisted by Elliott Troush. First goal, Randall, Cole, Troush. Second goal.
It's hard to announce when the in-rink announcer's going.
Elliott.
Mullenkamp takes a big hit behind the net. He's out. He's back up. Still not looking great down in the corner, though. Carter's to his feet. Holding the back of his head. You know, he took a concussion when we played in Ames last time, and he's not looking the greatest this time. So with 1:02 left in the second period, waiting for Ames to, I don't know what the discussion is here. That was about as clear as checking from behind or boarding as there is. So Board will spend the next 12 minutes thinking about his reactions. Tyler Randall to the net ice, or dot. Runs it over to Tees. Tees gets it back to Blake Schrader at the blue line. Down to the corner. Randall has it. Played back to the blue line. Randall now from the tops of the dots. Shot saved by Moulton. Played out. Blake Schrader holds it into the zone. Bouncing puck. Played over to Tees on the near side. He gets it back to Randall. Randall over to Blake Schrader. His shot. It's Moulton. Pops straight up in the air. Schrader drops it off for Randall. Randall sends it towards the net. Saved by Moulton. He'll hold on for a whistle with just 27 seconds left. See if they got the goalie change in. Those are always tricky. They do. Schrader drops it off for Poles, sends it across to Randall. Randall from the face-off dot sends it over to Poles. Poles wheels it back up the boards. Ames will send it to length. 13 seconds left in the second period. Blake Schrader now into the corner. Played back out to center ice. Now Randall with a full head of steam. Works it all the way down to the goal line. Shot high and wide over the net, and that'll do it on the second period. So after two, Saints hold a 5-3 lead on Ames. Saints will come back with 1 minute on the power play in the third period. And shots on goal favor the Saints, 22-16. We'll take a break. And we'll see you back in 15 minutes. Puck's down and we're underway. Blake Schrader has it back in his own defensive zone. He'll play it up to center ice. Picked up by Palmer. He'll carry it into the zone. Knocked off his stick. Ames knocks it into the room bench. Guys, if you wanted a puck, just ask. Randall to the dot for Dubuque. Puck's down. Controlled by Dubuque. Right down the boards to Palmer. He'll send it back behind the net. Scooped up there by Tees. There's a tripping call. Randall. So that'll nullify the last 30 seconds of the Dubuque power play. We'll be 4-on-4 for 30 seconds. Then Ames will head out on a minute 30 power play. We'll get Blake Schrader out with Ethan Tees, Carter Molenkamp, and Elsie Sokolcha. Schrader to the dot. Won by Dubuque. No, it's not. It's won by Ames. Sent towards the net. Glove down by Ames. Shot. Saved by Freihofer. Kicked out to the far side. Now it's played back behind the net. Ames sends it out to the slot. Fort wheels fire. Shot wide of the net. To the near boards. It's kicked back to the corner. Elsie has it behind the net. Plays it out the far side to Blake Schrader. Circles back behind the goal line. Turns and comes back up the far side. Cross-ice pass over to Molenkamp. Now it's Schrader. Killing the penalty. Dumps it into the zone. Glove down by Mullen. He'll play it out. Sent back into the zone. Ames throws it out to center ice. Molenkamp throws it back in. Charles does the flyby. Ames now tries to break it out of the zone. Pulls, pushes him wide. Out through center ice. That's offsides. Just in front of the Dubuque box, we'll get Elliot Troush out for the faceoff. Wins it back to Elsie. She'll send it out to neutral ice. Ames goes D-to-D in their own zone, and now they'll advance it down the ice. Gets it to Michael Poles. Plays it back to Carter Molenkamp, who sends it into the zone. Wrapped out of the far side. Elliot Troush should be the first one there. Michael Poles knocks it off a stick. He's got it below the goal line. Ducks around one check. Ames reverses and goes back below the goal line. Ian Baumgartner plays it out. Ames now into the attacking zone. Played all the way out. Troush will go for a change. Baumgart back to play it behind his own net. They'll wind it up behind the nets. All the way down Main Street. Both teams five-a-side. Schrader takes it out to center ice. It's knocked off his stick, and Ames will go the other way. Knocked off by McDermott. Cooper Smith plays it out to the far side. Ames chips it ahead. Dumped into the zone. Back behind the net of Freihofer. McDermott plays it around the boards. Shot blocked in the slot. Still bouncing puck. Collected by Ames, and they'll fire it. Shots trickled wide to the corner. McDermott Hard off the glass. Knocked down by Ames. They'll battle forward in the corner. Pop straight up. Herman has it there. Hard off the glass. Back behind the net now. Cooper Smith battles two Ames players. Puck leaks out. Walk to the far side. Shot. Saved by Freihoffer. It's 11:33 left in the third period. Saints still up 5-3. Waddick down for the faceoff. Played back to the point. Sent towards the net. Bouncing puck. Grabbed by Freihoffer. Now it's Waddick to the draw. Ames wins it. Gets it back to their D. It's poked loose. Or carries it out. It's taken away by Ames. They play it back into the zone. Shot. Nice block by the D. Played over in front of the Dubuque bench. Waddick races over to get it. Ames controls, though. Shot from the top of the circle. Fired wide of the net. Karams all the way over to the far side. Held in again. Played back to the point. Palmer gets it out into the Saints offensive zone. Played all the way back to Troush on his own blue line. He'll send it ahead to Palmer. Scooped up by Eubanks, held in by Sauser. Rugby scrum, Ozzy. Now it's knocked loose finally. Played over in front of the Dubuque bench. Carter Meehan over to get it. Meehan plays it over to Troush. Eubanks gets himself offsides. Paul in for the faceoff. Duke wins it. Elsie gets it over to Carter. Carter advances across the red line, dumps it into the zone. Weekly. And too weakly to get an offsides. We'll get Randall Poles and Elliott Troush out now for the draw. Still backed by Carter and Elsie. Randall in for the draw. Gets it over to Poles. Poles tries to knock it into the zone. It's taken away by Ames. Shot blocked by Mullenkamp. Ridden all the way down to the corner. Mullenkamp with a big hit. Played out the far side. Troush chips it around one. Advances into the zone. Michael Poles in the slot. Troush's shot. Big rebound, kicks all the way back to Mullenkamp. His shot's blocked in front. Now forced to the slot. Loose. Ames will play it out the far side. For icing. Randall into the draw. Won by Ames. Played all the way back. Troush has it there. Circles behind his own net. Knocked off the puck. Ames has it in the slot. Nice stiff lip by Michael Poles to prevent the shot. Now loose. Fired wide. Getting a call. Holding on, looks like Tyler Randall headed to the box. So Ames back on the power play with 9:15 left in the third period, down by 2. Shots on goal favor your Saints, 24-19. Schrader to the draw. Ames wins it, gets it back to the point. They'll go D to D. Saints will send it to length. Blake Schrader applies the pressure. It's spun out to the near side. Tease picks it up there. He's ridden off the puck.
At 9:15 in the third, Tyler Randall, number 5, holding. That push to be
Carried into the zone. Shot. Saved by Freihofer.
that push to be for the NXT penalty kill.
Troush pulls up to kill the penalty, along with Sukuchov and Mullenkamp. Puck's down, controlled by Dubuque. Troush tries to fire it out, held in at the blue line, played down the far side. They'll kick it back to the blue line. Again down the side. Back behind the net they'll go. Board's got it there. Mullenkamp knocks it free, plays it up the near boards. It's forced just outside the zone. Ames will still control. Knocked off Volker's stick. Played into the zone, fired out. Michael Poles chips it ahead. Baumgard back to get it. Elliot Troush rides him all the way into the boards, knocks it loose, throws it towards the net, out of the reach of Poles. Poles dances away from Baumgard, throws it out to Troush, nobody home. The length of the ice to Ames, and Ames rushes down 2-on-2. Shot, saved by Freihofer. Holds on for a whistle. Still 30 seconds left on that Tyler Randall penalty. 7:47 left in the game. We'll get teased to the draw. Played back to the point. Now dumped back down the far side. Cooper Smith sends it around the net. Tease has it on the boards, chips it ahead to Blake Schrader. Taken away by Ames. Tease now just outside the blue line. Plays it back to Schrader. Schrader will send it ahead, glove down by Ames, and they'll counter up the other way. Shot from the top of the circle is blocked by Cooper Smith. Knocked back out to center ice. Just 5 seconds on the power play. Top of the circles. Walks down the slot. It's poked away by Meehan. Shot from the top of the circles. Fired wide and around the boards. We're back to 5 aside. Ethan T sends it the length of the ice for an icing. I want to thank the 22 viewers watching today's stream. We're at 501 subscribers. Just 99 away from 600. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Tyler Randall to the dot. 7 minutes left in the third. Wins the faceoff over to Carter Mullenkamp. It's forced up the boards. Just out of the reach of Elliot Troush. Now Sukuchov plays it up to Troush. Troush shot from the bad side. Ames counters. They'll come back up the middle. Offsides. Puck's down. Controlled by Dubuque. Mullenkamp gets it over to Sukuchov. Elsie fires it up the boards. Kicked out of the zone by Orr. Ames comes back the other way. Shot from the top of the circles. Freihofer plays it off the back end. Now it's played ahead. Played all the way back into the zone. Baxter will wrap it around the boards. Played out to the far side. Ames controls it there. Set up. Molenkamp plays it off to Palmer. Palmer sends it into the zone. On net, no icing. Ames reverses it, sends it out the far side, knocked down by Palmer. Regained by Ames, and they'll backhand it all the way out to Troush on the far blue. Troush spins away from one, plays it up the boards to Palmer. Palmer chips it into the zone. Ames will now play it out the far side in front of the Zam doors. Cross ice pass. Duke defense gets tangled up. Ames dumps it into the zone. Troush plays it to the corner. Kicked over to Meehan. Meehan off the boards. Fired on net. Battle down in the corner now. Duke will send it out. Glove down. That's a hand pass. That's a hand pass all day. Tease to the draw. Controlled by Ames. They'll send it into the zone. Played up. Schrader can't get a stick on it. Tease plays it back. McDermott sends it cross ice over to Cooper Smith. Smith sends it ahead. Dubuque will advance it out to center ice. Into the attacking zone, all the way down to the goal line. Backhanded pass sent through the crease. Nobody home. Tease now in the corner. Played back behind the net. Ames has it now in the far corner. They'll try and break it out. Sent out to center ice. McDermott has it there. He sends it over to Tease. Offsides on Dubuque. Some finals from around the league. It was Lincoln over the Mohawks, 7-1. Fremont beats Sioux City. It looks like in a shootout. I'll have to confirm that. The Capitals with a slight victory, 12-0 over the Quad City Blues. Puck's down. Powell tries to carry it in. It's knocked away. Baumgard the other direction. Poke loose. Sauser kicks it over. Now it's played ahead. Ames has it at center ice. Big hit right in front of the Dubuque bench. Brady Eubanks delivered that. It's over to Molenkamp. Molenkamp plays it hard off the glass, held in by Ames. Ames holds it into the zone. In the top of the circle, shot, fired wide, kicks all the way over to the far side. Out at the blue line, dumped on net again, tipped wide to the corner. Ames has control there, knocks it back behind the goal line. Thrown out in front, saved by Freihofer. He'll cover for a whistle. Was a shootout victory in Ames, or not Ames, Fremont. Face off to the right of Freihofer. Puck's down. Ames controls. Back to the point. Shot. Saved by Freihofer. Randall collects the rebound. Plays it up the boards. Troush knocks it down just outside the zone. Now it's Randall. Weaves through center ice. Gets it off the poles. Big hit right in front of the Ames bench. Troush over to Meehan. Up through center ice. Ames will dump it into the zone. Meehan to get it in the corner. Played back behind the net. Troush has it now. Plays it through the middle. Out of the reach of poles. Ames counters through center ice. Dumped it back into the corner from the wrong side of the red line. No icing, though. Troush back behind his own net. 2 minutes left. Play it out the far side. Taking off his stick. Ames has it back behind the net. Fired out in front. Saved by Freihoffer. He'll hold on for a whistle. 2:09 left in the third period. Shots on goal just in favor of the Saints. 26-25. It's 5-3 here in Dubuque. We'll get teased for the draw. He wins it back. It's knocked off the stick of McDermott. Now put on the back of the net, out in front. Moore walks it up the far wall, dumps it back down the wall. Big shot fanned on by Ames. Tease has it beyond the net, hits the brakes, reverses. Cooper Smith spins away from one. Saints just eating Glock back below the goal line. Smith now up through neutral ice into the attacking zone. Tackled by 3 Ames players. No call. Loose puck. Back behind the play. Now sent the length of the ice. Slashing on Dubuque. 2 minutes with 1:20 left in the game. Timeout Ames. Probably have some varsity games already in action. Let's go check their scores. Zero to zero. Ames, or I'm sorry, why do I keep doing that? Sioux City and Fremont are 0-0. Lincoln and Mason City are 0-0. And the Capitals and Blues still scoreless. With 1:21 left in the third period here in Dubuque. Saints will finish out the game on a penalty kill unless a goal is given up. It's 5-3 here. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 26-25. Ames will leave Molden on the bench, and they'll come out 6 skaters. Saints will counter with Elliot Troush, Carter Molenkamp, Michael Poles, Elsie Sukuchoff, and Brent Freihoffer. Troush to the face-off dot. Ames wins it, gets it back to the D. Dump down the boards, taken away by Molenkamp. He'll get it to Troush. Troush sends it the length of the ice. Just off the side. There's a power play. There's a power play. Larson says, my bad. Troush to the dot. Controlled by Ames. Board will skid it to the far side. Dumps it into the zone. Bounces past the stick of Freihoffer. Elsie in the corner. She's run off the puck. Ames wraps around the near side. Shot saved by Freihoffer, loose in front. Knocked away by Troush. Aussie scrum. Troush has it pinned pretty good. 3 Ames players finally pry it loose. Knocked the length of the ice. Ames picks it up, sends it around the far side. All the way out to the Dubuque blue line. Carried in, dropped off there. Back to the point. Palm guard shot. Held on by Freihoffer. insanity ensues. We got Cooper Smith out there. Cooper Smith is out there on defense with no one. 3 forwards. Bouncing puck. Clears the zone. Michael pulls. Fires it wider than that for his hat trick. Chases Baumgartner all the way down. 8 seconds left. Carries into the zone. Shot wider than that. Kicks out to the near side though. Tied up behind the net. Wrapped around to the far side, and that'll do it. From Dubuque. Saints finally get the better of Ames in 5-3 JV victory. Shots on goal wrap up 27-26 in favor of Ames.
27 for Ames.
We'll take a break, clear the ice, go through our varsity warm-ups. We'll have the varsity contest back here in about 30 minutes. I'm Deb's son, here to tell you that if you can find a rink, you can find a friend.